So this has been quite a week. This has been quite a week. Let's see. I think I used to have a thing for holding my phone, and I actually can't find out where the hell that thing is. Let me see if I can find that thing. Give me a second. Here. I think this is it. Steal Erica's toy. Stealing Erica's toy here, actually. One moment. Yes, I'm live. I'm going to take Erica's little live streaming thing. All right. All right, how does this thing work? Oh, this is weird. This is weird. I have a stick. You gotta figure out. How about here? That's weird, maybe? Keep the right to repair fight. Scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love New York City? I don't have a way to rate it in a number. Let's see what do we got here. Where are you? Why is... Oh, God. Back to the yesterday. So this has been an interesting week. The President of the United States has signed an executive order asking the FTC to make rules on right to repair. Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, said he subscribed to my YouTube channel after the Cameo video and supports right to repair. The President of the United States and the co-founder of the company that created modern computing. That's not a bad week. That's not a bad week. That is definitely, I've had worse weeks when it comes to right to repair advocacy. I've definitely had worse weeks when it comes to right to repair advocacy. I'm quite happy there. Yeah, 2 national spotlights in the span of a week. That is bottle popping worthy. But I didn't do any bottle popping. I'm just kind of sitting here. I'm not a partying person. I do my work. I go to the gym. I go home. Work, gym, home. It's my routine. Happy to see you didn't float away down the street today. Yeah, it was raining, but it wasn't that bad. My attorney actually had his basement flooded, so he's not very happy with everything. I called him today because I need him to get his ass in gear with all this stuff that's been going on with the FTC, with right to repair in the news. That is all important. 1 second here. What do we have here? Hello from Australia. Oh, why are you spelling my name with an E? Why? It's in the channel name. Come on. Do you have any tips for burnout? What are you doing? Are you doing something that you enjoy, or are you doing like some hamster wheel miserable shit? Hello, YouTube sucks. Hello, XPYR. Hello, Nicole Valerie. How are you? Sorry for trolling you yesterday. I was just having some fun. Clinton, where's Clinton and Oreo? Oh, actually, if you want to see Oreo, check this out. Oreo is taking a shit. Oreo, are you taking a shit? Quality content. All right. When are you leaving New York? I don't know. I got to go to Las Vegas for a conference. I got invited to a conference. They're actually giving me my own room. So they're not just giving me a booth. They're giving me a room. Like usually a booth is 10 to 20,000 bucks a day. I'm getting an entire fucking conference room that I can invite people to. So if anybody wants, I'll leave. There's some wireless expo. I think it's August 17th. If anybody wants to come and say hi, by the way, and you want an excuse to go to Vegas, by all means, you're welcome to come to this wireless expo. I'll post details when I have them. I honestly don't even remember the name of the expo. I just agreed to it because I thought it would be a good excuse to have a vacation. The last time I went to one of those was in CTIA in 2014. My hair was black back then. My hair was black back then. I think it's going to be a fun expo. I'm excited. Views go down when Oreo makes an appearance. You know, Nicole, that is a problem. That is a problem. Views do go down when Oreo makes an appearance, and that's why Mr. Clinton is the head of the quality content game. Are you planning on living in New York for the rest of your life? No. I honestly forget the name of the expo because there's a bunch of them. It's one of those things, but they invited me to talk about right to repair and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm assuming this is the right to repair friendly expo, not that CTIA bullshit. CTIA is a cancer. Set up shop, bring broken boards, and repair them in person. That could be fun. Biden's executive order is a directive. No laws have been passed. Yep, that's exactly what I said in the video. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of uphill work. Do you have a list of states you're looking to move to now that Florida is off? I don't know if Florida's off. I wouldn't say Florida's off the list. I mean, I definitely want to check out Tennessee. I don't want to check out Texas because they haven't admitted to the real reasons as to why they had their energy crisis. A lot of people were blaming green energy in Texas while completely ignoring that in Iowa, where it was about 10 or 20 degrees colder, they had no problems with windmills or any of that shit. So, like, I need to see them admit the cause of their problems. Kind of like in New York City, a lot of the politicians, like, they don't admit the causes of their problems, so that I know they're not going to be able to solve them. And I don't want to move to like the red. I don't want to move to the red version of that, if that makes sense. Like, I live in the blue version of that. Uh, Now yeah, they never expected cold. Just like, come out and be honest. Don't say like green energy sucks. This fucked us over. When Iowa does not have that problem, and it's colder in Iowa than fucking Texas. Anyway, so I want to check out Tennessee. I'd like to check out maybe South Dakota, Florida, but Florida is still definitely high on the list. I liked South Florida. I really liked for the Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach area. I enjoy Fort Lauderdale. I think it's a decent place, but I'd still have to do a bit more research just to make sure I'm not moving to New York version 2. Like, Miami is very obviously New York version 2. Like, fuck Miami. No interest in Miami. Everything that's wrong with New York is also wrong with Miami. So that would make no sense. I liked South Florida. I don't like DeSantis very much, but I gained a new level of respect for him during the pandemic. We don't have to agree with I don't have to agree with him on every political thing that he does, but when you had all these governors that were telling people you can't go to the park, De Blasio telling people if you see people not socially distancing, take pictures and fucking what's the word looking for? Rat on them to my fucking tip line. Snitch on them to the tip line. You had in Rhode Island, a lady was going for a jog with her mask on an empty street and the police stopped her. I gained a new level of respect for DeSantis after that. I don't have to appreciate every political decision he makes. I don't have to agree with him on everything he does, but when shit really hits the fan, I really just have very basic requirements. Don't set a precedent that the government can destroy my business and have police put the sirens on their car because I'm jogging on an empty street with a mask on. Like, it didn't have, you know, so I even if I disagree with DeSantis and sometimes in some videos, I don't know if I've mentioned it in the past that I don't like everything he does. I gained a level of respect for him because at the end of the day, he's not going to destroy my life in the same way that Cuomo or De Blasio would have been happy to do it. Boo Brancher, that has a lot to do with it. And again, if they just said we fucked up, that'd be one thing, but they didn't. They just pretended it was the fault of green energy. I'm not even trying to be a green energy fanboy. It's just I live in a state where they don't admit the cause of their problems, and I don't want to move to the red version of the exact same shit. Florida looks decent. BlackBerry and Mr. Clinton's videos go viral and get more views than border repair videos. Oh, don't fucking remind me. Don't rub it in, Nicole. So Mr. Clinton's quality content is up to 2.3 million views. That video has done better than 95% of my channel. And it's a cat meowing for 25 seconds and rolling over. And he's fat! He was overweight in that video. That was before we put him on a diet. That little bastard. I'm gonna milk that. I'm gonna milk that video for all the YouTube money it's worth about the cat, because he had to have a leg surgery because he was fucking around and trying to screw up stuff in my apartment, and he finally sliced his leg open on one of the baseboard heating units while he was trying to jump and catch something on the ceiling, and then he fell, and that surgery was over $3,500. So I will happily rake in money without on Mr. Clinton without sharing the money with Mr. Clinton. Congratulations on winning DC. I'm happy to see a guy like you is making a difference. Thank you. I'm happy to see making a difference too. If you like everything a politician does or stands for, then he or she is not a real politician. That, or you may just be ideologically possessed and a fanboy. A lot of people are ideologically possessed fanboys. You can't go wrong with a cute cat. I agree. Take a look at this right here. Let's see. Can you see the kitty? That's a kitty. It's a kitty. Let's see if you can see my cat. Come here, Clinton. Come on, video boy. You cannot go wrong with a cute cat. You could go wrong with a fat cat. And my cat is starting to get fat. When someone is wrong and you double down on it, you know the type of person they are. Kind of. But it depends on whether they know they're wrong or not. Clinton never got a sponsorship deal with Greenies. Yeah, Greenie, like they sent me one thing, but they never just. They sent me one free box of Greenies, but they never did a sponsorship agreement. Their loss. Meow Mix should sponsor Mr. Clinton's next video. I agree, Nicole. Nicole, you said that you are from South Florida. What parts of South Florida don't suck? I was looking at Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach, but am I moving to a dump if I do that? Send my regards to the kitties, says Michael Quaintance. I will. Jim Hook says quality content. Thank you. Also, good to see Michael Quaintance is still around. You've been getting more sleep. You don't have dark circles. No, that's called that's whatever bullshit filters they put in the front camera of modern smartphones. That is fake news. They're all fake news. It's just beautifying or whatever. Like my skin is not this smooth. Look at this. Look at this. There's so much smoothing that you can barely even tell that I have chest hair, because it's smoothing my chest hair into my skin. It's just it's ridiculous. Florida is the hottest state in the union. Something to consider. I noticed that while I was in Miami. Lots of thirst traps. Steve actually got trapped by a thirst trap. I'm in Palm Beach. It's better than Miami-Dade and Broward County. Not at all like New York City. How do you like Palm Beach, Nicole? I spent a good amount of time in Fort Lauderdale, and that was my favorite while I was in Florida. But I'm curious what you think. Also, why do you live there? Pearl White Fancy Feast Cat. Is that a silk pillow? This is some cheap-ass Amazon pillowcase that I got like 10 years ago. But this is a $25 pillow. I spent on this. It has the curve in it for your neck. I got to get one of those in my car because I noticed on long trips you don't get, they don't have neck support either in the lawnmower or the meme car. I don't live in the city. I'm in South Hillsborough County. It's nothing like the city of Tampa. Interesting. I'm debating before or after Vegas checking out Fort Lauderdale again. Also, the Fort Lauderdale meetup was the most fun one of all the meetups that I did while I was traveling. I enjoyed the Fort Lauderdale meetup. That was fun. Sonny's Tesla is revived, but they only fixed one of the 3 problems. They still didn't fix the fucking thing where his light turns on for no reason, and it just stays on all the time. He has a piece of tape over it, which is probably one of the things that's killing his battery. By the way, everybody, take a look at this. Let's see if I can get him in the shot. Mr. Clinton. Look at him. Let's see. Can I get him in the shot? Clinton? He's very loyal. Are you still doing Illinois/Chicago? I have no interest in the state of Illinois. If I'm going to make the effort to move, it's going to be to a state that has no state income tax. I love MacBook repair videos that are the most funny. Enjoy ripping off JTAGs. Why do you hate them so much? Lisa, I don't like JTAG connectors because Apple engineers get access to the ability to do fun things with the JTAG, and I don't. So I ripped them off of the board. How are you liking or hating your Model 3? I don't hate it. It is a meme car, though, and I acknowledge it being a meme car. Louis, you still talk to the girl that went to page 40 or 50 of your email. The last time I spoke to her was 2018, and her life seemed to be in complete and utter disarray. I reached out to her once in 2020. I didn't hear from her because I was curious how she was doing with the pandemic. Never heard, and that's that. With any luck, she's still around. I didn't get a listen. We had our problems, but I don't wish bad on the people that I used to date, even the ones that were horrible. I don't wish bad on any of my exes. Some of them really, really irritated me and really pissed me off, but I wish the best for them. Went to school, South Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Daytona, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, depending on the area, really legit. Broward County for sure. Okay, so that's 1 for Broward County. That's from him. And Nicole said Palm Beach. First time catching you live. Saw Clinton live, complete from a fellow Canadian fan. Thank you, Kyle. We'll break up with you if you mistreat Erica. Oh, God. I have simps in my chat already. Oh, jeez. Don't mistreat her. Did you get the interior trim problems and missing key sorted out? Key, no. I just took the key from my old car and reprogrammed it, and I removed the key that they still have from this car. The trim, yes. I've lived in Palm Beach my whole life. The beach is nearby. You have small towns and areas if you don't want to live in a big city. You're always near everything. See, that's what I want. I want the ability to be in a city if I want to be in a city, but then spend 20 minutes driving that way and be the fuck away from it, but not be in a place that's insanely expensive. But the thing is, everything's become expensive nowadays, so it's hard to tell. We love swagger. There's no swagger in the stream. You might like Deerfield Beach. Have you been? I haven't. I do plan on making a second trip to Florida, though. I didn't stay there as long as I wanted. I got kind of messed up by the stupid car getting totaled. I also may do a meetup while I'm in Vegas. I think that's going to be a really fun conference, getting to meet all the repair people. Let's do a show of hands. If I get my own booth and my own room at this giant wireless repair conference thing, how many of you would actually show up, hypothetically speaking? So let's say I did meetups, meet and greets, talk to people, all that kind of shit. You know, we went out, got some drinks afterwards or something. How many people here would go? Give me a yes or a no. Don't say nothing. We have 195 people here. I'm curious because I want to see if I should arrange this. I want to see if I should arrange this or bother with it. Give me a yes or a no. All right. It's okay if it's a no. I don't really. I just kind of want to figure out if is it worth my time to plan something like this. Let's see. What do we got? No offense, just need honesty. Let's see. What do we got? Hello, JP. How are you? I can't leave the country. I'm in Canada. What do they lock you in there? Yes, if it's in Florida. No, unfortunately, it's in Las Vegas. It's in the desert. Stuck in South Dakota as a history teacher major. So no. Huh. Most people here are not in USA. Do you think the eviction moratorium will make the house price go down? I don't see how it's going to make housing prices go down. I mean, oh, I can. What do you do with all the people that you evict? What do you do with them? Okay, you kick them out, but now they're on the street, and now now they're on the street. They have nothing to lose, so they riot. Yeah, I don't see how that affects housing prices. I would be more focused on how this is gonna this kicking the can down the road. Once it can no longer be kicked, is going to destabilize society more than anything else. If people get evicted, they can come live with you. No, the fuck off. No, thank you, John. Thank you, no, thank you. Oh, damn it. One sec. I have to turn vibrating off. That sounds weird. Actually, that sounded bad. Shit. Somebody's going to clip that. Me sitting in bed saying I need to turn vibrating off. Oh, man. No. All right, so it's mostly no. All right, no big deal. I appreciate you all for answering honestly. Thank you. Have one big meetup in New York City before you move away. That could be fun. I've actually thought about doing meetup groups in New York City. I started doing them right before the pandemic happened, and then I stopped because of the pandemic. But I actually was starting to enjoy them. I never knew Tesla had quality controls issue until you showed me. I'm going to assume that you're being sarcastic. Cities I recommend to check out in Palm Beach County: Delray Beach, Wellington, Palm Beach Gardens, in Broward County, Deerfield Beach. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. All right, I got a screenshot of that. Thank you, Nicole. Most of the time I spent in Fort Lauderdale that I wanted to use to explore, I spent kind of stressed out on whether insurance was going to screw me over with the car, so I didn't really do as much there as I should have. Thank you, clone. Scamcast, that's not going anywhere. He moved the goalpost many times, and now he's just ignoring me. So I have, yeah, I got as much as I'm going to get out of that. I'm going to do a video where I try to see if I can get Gamestop to do this, but that's just being ridiculous at this point. Thank you, Pika Salt. I appreciate that. I hope everything's good in the state of Mississippi. The good thing about Palm Beach is you're 1 hour away from Miami and 2 hours from Orlando, also several major airports. What has you staying in Palm Beach? I guess you still got the fangirl over Waz. Yep. Wheel spin, says Maximilian. Yes, holy crap. 50 Mexican dollars. No, I like the lizards, JP. I enjoy the lizards. Palm Beach costs a ton of money to live there. That explains how Nicole Valerie can afford all these super chats. Because she probably owns a Palm Beach mansion. Nicole, is it true that you have to be rich to live in Palm Beach? I know South Beach you have to be rich to live in, but Palm Beach, is it expensive? Can you afford to live there on a motherboard repairman salary? I guess an ex-motherboard repairman turned live streamer salary? Are you going to get a pet lizard? Depends on how Mr. Clinton treats it. I'm still here because it's truly paradise. Okay, I got to check out Palm Beach then. I'll add Palm Beach to the list because when I was driving from Jacksonville to Fort Lauderdale, I could have stopped in Palm Beach. It's on the way. It's worth it. Mark is really trying to convince me to go to Jacksonville. It's because he's stuck there, I think. He's really like doing a hard sell. Mark from iPad Rehab on me going to Jacksonville. With the ridiculous rate houses went up over the last 2 years, I'm not sure anyone can afford to live anywhere. Yeah. There was this one highway, the A1A highway, just driving down to Fort Lauderdale. My God, that is beautiful. Jacksonville is Staten Island in Florida. Yeah, that was the impression that I got. It was beautiful, like the whole A1A highway. I want to go there again. So you can afford a better mic, camera, and lighting system, and be able to afford that extended insurance. By extended insurance, do you mean extended car warranty? I'm not getting a car warranty. No. Palm Beach Island is for millionaires. Palm Beach County is what I'm referring to. It's definitely cheaper than New York City. I'll have to check it out. I'll add that to the list after checking out Fort Lauderdale. And I got trolled into checking out Wynwood. Oh my God. When Steve and I got there, we walked around the corner, and the first thing that we saw was a giant pile, actual pile of shit on the sidewalk. Not a figurative pile of shit, an actual pile of shit. And it really spoke for the experience of Wynwood. Trump lives on Palm Beach Island. LOL, I definitely don't live there. Okay. Where is Clinton? Clinton is gone. My friend lives in Tampa. He likes it. I enjoy Tampa as well. How much is antitrust attorney? Antitrust attorney is an amount of money that I don't want to talk about because when I think about it, it makes me meh. I'm happy right now. Let's not talk about those things. Everybody, hi is here. Everybody say hi to hi. South Florida is pandemic proof. I'm kind of curious if Ron DeSantis is juicing the numbers because wasn't there one of those people that was talking about the data collection and they had the police raid her house or something? It's possible that he's juicing the numbers, but honestly, even if that's the case, I don't care. I don't care. I don't want the government to be able to to I don't want someone to tell me that I can't go for a jog wearing a mask in the middle of the day on an empty street. Like a police siren going off for that, like, no, fuck out of here. I honestly don't even. It's the principle of the matter for me. K-Ron, engineers don't always make the best. But bet the best managers. But at the same time, you can't do worse than some of the management we have now. Xander, that makes me feel hopeful that I'm not barking up the wrong tree. What did Biden actually do? He signed an executive order that asked the FTC to look into rules and create rules regarding right to repair, which is a start. That is an absolute start. And in the press release, they linked to an article that went over how the Apple IRP program kind of sucks. So I know that they know what we're talking about and what we're looking for. The only season we have is rainy season and hurricane season. No snow days, of course. Okay, Nicole, what do you do when there's a hurricane? I've never been to a hurricane before. Teach me. What do you do with a hurricane? What do I do if there's a hurricane? Because I have no idea how to deal with a hurricane. Hello from Englewood. Hello. They seem lolling. Buy all water and gas. I already have filled up jugs of water in my car and here. There's like 4 or 5 gallons of water in my car, drinking water. Hello from Louisville, Kentucky. Hello, Kayvon. Hurricane party. Just have water, batteries, flashlight, ice, and you'll be fine. Nicole, I'm concerned that your area will be underwater 5 or 10 years from now. What are your thoughts on that? Is that the reason that your taxes are so low? Also, what makes it a paradise? You call it a paradise, but I'm curious. Why is it a paradise to you? Is Sonny your employee? Sonny has not been my employee since 2013. That was over 8 years ago. That was spring 2013. Louis, you're like the 5-foot version of my uncle. Yes, I am short. I am 5'6". We had a good talk about this on yesterday's stream. Or was it 2 days ago stream? At least with Six Flags, by the time you turn 13 years old, you outgrow the height requirements. Some rides, you never outgrow the height requirements. Blackberry? Blackberry? I have, General. I have. There's a video on this channel called In Defense of My Friend that I would suggest watching regarding that guy. Holy crap, viewers are going up. Blackberry, come back. Blackberry, come back, Barry. Sonny needs a girlfriend. Sonny has a girlfriend. Sonny needs to call his existing girlfriend. And not fucking ignore picking up the phone with her 3 times in a row when she calls him 3 times in a row. You prick. I know why he's not picking up the phone, and I already made my recommendation there. Thanks for you and Sonny's New York City clothes shop videos. But then again, I'm not much to talk. I'm not much to talk. Criminal Minded? It really did. Also, are you Criminal Minded BK and Twitch? Curious. Paradise for me is the beach and being in close proximity to the Caribbean. You can hop on a plane and be in the Bahamas in no time. You know, I've never been to the Bahamas. Blackberry, is that your little paw next to my ear? Never mind. That's just the indent in the picture. That's an indent in the pillow. Blackberry, what are you doing? Blackberry? Blackberry? Nuzzle. Blackberry? What are you doing? Blackberry? Are you licking my head? Paradise for me is my kitten. Thanks for you and Sunny's New York City clothes shop videos. Oh, thanks for watching, Jim. Hope all's well with you. I have to check out the work you're doing with the Australian right to repair stuff. I'm being a bum right now and taking a break. I didn't fire him for that acid, FK. He quit to move on to better jobs. His company was kicking ass. I don't know how it is now. I'm 5'2", and when people say I'm short, I tell them I'm fun-sized. Blackberry? This is a kitten. This is how she shows love. Blackberry? Blackberry, what are you doing? Blackberry? 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 Don't put your ass in my face, girl. That's... Cinevision is here. Views are going up. We have a cat. They see me lolling. You need to find a receptionist. You need to get a receptionist. Get both cats on screen and you'll triple your views. Oreo? Oreo, where are you? No Oreo here. Just a berry. Blackberry. I'm not your dad. That's weird. Kitty? My storage container. Ow, Barry, don't bite my... He's biting me. Ow. Blackberry? Blackberry? Ow. It does look like a warehouse. Erica has a talent of finding all sorts of shit on the street and then collecting it and hoarding it like a hermit crab. Vino, no, and honestly, I wasn't really expecting it. This goes to me. GoFundMe goes to the 501c4 organization. This goes to, I don't know, me buying burritos. Based feline trying to assassinate their owner. Berry bite. Holy crap, $50 from Good Medic? I'm not worth $50. Can you speak Italian? Buongiorno. Arrivederci. No, I cannot speak Italian for shit. I'm 50% Italian and I 0% speak it. Thank me, my lord. I'm creating a new site. I have a crappy site up now for the 501c4. I'm gonna have a donate thing on it soon that actually that doesn't have the fee that GoFundMe does. Do you have the link for Clinton and Barry's favorite treats on Amazon? Not here. Erica has that somewhere. You're worth the one good medic. You are worth every bit good, sir. Am I? I don't think I am. I don't think I am. Maybe that's a confidence thing. I'm fine, Vino. Speak for yourself. Let's see. Holy crap. Are you leaving New York City to Florida? I'd like to make another trip. I want to check out Fort Lauderdale again because I really liked that area last time and I didn't get to spend enough time there this time because I had to drop off my car rental at the end of it and deal with the insurance company. But I am going. Have you considered dyeing your hair black? I haven't. I The only reason that I would dye my hair black is because I care about having a more youthful appearance. The reason men care about their appearance is because it has the potential to draw in hotter or more successful women. Most of the, like, if we're being honest with ourselves, that's what it's about, drawing in women. And when I had black hair and I had gray hair, it drew in the exact same amount of women. So it doesn't really make a difference to me. I could care less about the color of it. Like you could see, I'm pretty gray now. Like this is the life of doing business in New York. That's what 10 years of New York City business owner does to yourself. Why do you put yourself down? I don't put myself down. I'm just realistic. I mean, if I was stripping for you, then I'd see it. Like he just gave me $100. You know how much you could get for $100 at a strip bar? Look, like my my fly is not even unzipped. You could get people to unzip their fly for a quarter of that. I don't know. I just don't think. When BlackBerry was on camera, you started getting $50 tips. Okay, maybe it's for BlackBerry. How old are you now? I'm 32. Do another meetup in Florida or Fort Lauderdale. When do you think training classes will resume? I'm going to announce that over the next 2 days. There's probably going to be a class late August and end of July. Would you bring back the burrito place called Lucha Lucha? If I could find the original chefs and recipes, 100%. Yeah, I'm not going to try to look youthful when I'm old. I'd rather work towards being successful other than more youthful because it doesn't really matter. Like you have guys that are highly successful that bag women half their age regularly. They're not dyeing their hair. It's the wrong attribute to focus on. If you're going to be narcissistic about it, it's the wrong attribute to focus on. I am 32. Hollywood, Florida, which is near Fort Lauderdale. I'll add that to the list. Lucha Mucha, best Mexican burrito restaurant. I'm 32 and Ray looks older than my 72-year-old dad. You gargle my balls. Let's see. I appreciate your videos. I wish you and Erica and the kitties the best. The chain loops to my still MS881 chainsaw are $50 each. Huh. Me, 35, achieve nothing. Lose, 32, one of the best known guys on the internet. Being known on the internet's overrated. Trust me. You can't trade it for most of the things that you actually want in life. There's a lot of things that I'd like to have in life, and you can't trade fame on the internet for them. I'm sure you've accomplished something. I think that you're not focusing on what you have accomplished. Why 32 and gray hair? I fix MacBooks, man. You expect me to answer that shit? Really? I'm 19 and going gray, says Kayvon. I love you. What you're doing is right to repair, says Linus. Thank you, Linus. Put the hair gel and spike your hair up. Hell no, I'm not going back to being a Staten Island Guido. You know how much work it did just to get rid of my Staten Island Guido accent? Hell no. That took work. I'm not. Next, you're going to tell me to start smoking Newports, get a Nextel phone, and get a North Face jacket. No. Definitely worth much more. I like these streams you do. Nice break from work. Thank you, Brian. I finally gave my 1 week notice. I work 6 days a week, minimum wage for almost 2 years, and my boss hired some other guy for double my wage. Did you ask him? Like, again, I understand you quitting, and that's fine that you quit, but did you ever just ask him, like, hey, I know this, so I agreed. Here's what I would have done. I would have said, listen, I want to be clear that I'm not complaining here. I agreed to take this job at this pay, so I don't have the right to complain. But I noticed that this person that does the same thing I do gets, I don't know, $20 an hour, and I get 10. And I want to know, what do I need to do to live up to your standard of what you consider good work? So that, because you know, I don't hate this job, and I kind of like to know what it is, so that I can serve our customers better and serve you better, and kind of, and you may get an honest answer, you may get bullshit. And if you get bullshit, then walk out, and, you know, then at that point you can say, you know, go suck a dick. But if you just leave, then you'll never know what it is. Now, you may not think that what it is right. You may think that the boss is wrong with his reasoning. But if you know his reasoning, then in the next job, you'll at least have an idea of what to look for, so that you don't wind up in that situation again. Because none of my salaries are the same for any of the people here, but it's all based on small factors. And if someone walked up to me and said, why do I get paid more or less than this person? I'd be happy to tell them. I've had one or two people walk up to me and have that conversation before, and I explain it to them. But one of the things I notice when I explain it is then they all, since I explain it to them, and I usually try to explain it a little earlier on, is they kind of understand why things are the way they are. Maybe your boss is a cunt. Again, I don't know where you work, but I think it would be worth the conversation. And the reason I would open in that non-confrontational way is you want to learn as much as possible before you burn the bridge. Once you've learned everything you need to learn, if you want to burn the bridge, then by all means, burn the bridge. I love burning bridges. It's one of my favorite hobbies. I'm a pyromaniac of bridges. Relationship bridges, that is, not, you know, actual real life bridges. I think the tips are rolling in because you're laying in bed. Really? Is there some sort of fantasy about seeing me in bed? About pretending that you could be lying here on this pillow next to me? Is that what it is? Because that's kind of weird. But the only reason I'm saying that you should do this is because there may be a reason. And if you may have a blind spot. And if you have a blind spot and that gets taken to your next job, then you may wind up going through the exact same shit all over again. So let's say the boss is wrong. Let's say you were doing everything you were supposed to and he had a misconception about something. What if your next boss has that same misconception? And then you wind up getting fucked again. I'm not making body pillows. Trust me, no blind spot. Okay, if there's a blind spot, then why were you getting paid half as much? I mean, honestly, answer the question for me. If there's no blind spot, if you are genuinely better than that other person, then why would he pay the other person twice what he was paying you? Like, it's a serious question. Because here's the thing, I've explained this to my employees. So I have some employees here that there's an employee, for instance, I have an employee that makes less money than someone else in his position, and I just straight up explained to him that I had fucked up as a business owner, and I made some of the salaries at my store too high, and they were so high that they were unsustainable. And then when business took a dip with COVID, and when I moved and I got fucked on the move with the contract, everything else, that I was not in a place where I could copy and paste everybody else's salary to you, because I honestly, the one of the people's particular salaries right now is not even sustainable as it is. If that person were to quit and I were to rehire for that particular position, they would get paid less than they do now. There was when the business used to be on the slope upwards, and then when it kind of did this, you got hired when we were on this slope. So we were here, and you kind of got hired here. So it's not fair that you're getting paid what you are. And I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that I appreciate the work you do. Here's the schedule that I'm going to have for bonuses for you. Here's how I'd like to compensate you. And I actually had this conversation with him long before there was a request for a raise or anything like that, because I didn't want him to find out what his salary was in contrast to somebody else, after hearing this. I wanted him to know it's not that you're bad at your job or anything. It's that business was doing this when those guys were hired, and business was doing this when you started working here. So you just happen to work here on that section of the curve. And if business were to start doing that again, then I'd have no problem with it. Now, why don't I lower those people's salaries if business is doing this? You can't lower people's salaries. It doesn't work. If you lower someone's pay, they become passive aggressive and they stop giving a shit. It's just not something you can do. It absolutely destroys their morale. But I try to be honest with the people that I have when I'm explaining this. And if someone comes up to me and says, I want to know why I make more than this person or less than this person, I don't pull these salaries out of my ass. I calculate them based on a bunch of different things. What are you capable of doing? Are you willing to learn new things, or do you hate learning new things? How fast are you at learning new things? Because you always have to adapt in this business. There's always the next device, the newest thing. How often do you say, this is not my job? Because here's the thing. Someone who never says, this is not my job, they're getting paid way more than the guy that says, that's not my job. That's just the way it is. Like, when business is doing well, and I want to figure out who should get more money, it's always the person that never said, this is not my job. How do you deal with customers? Do you display an unwillingness to deal with customers? Because some people just they never want to deal with a customer, or they're like, oh, I can't believe I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to deal with this. I'm not picking up a phone. Okay, fine. It's getting factored into the pay. Like, there's a lot of different things, and I think that a lot of bosses are not willing to be upfront with it. But if you have a conversation, that's all I'm saying. Have the conversation so that you know. And you may think that your boss is full of shit, but here's the thing. You may get another boss that's equally as full of shit as this boss. You may get another boss that has this that is misinterpreting the work you're doing the same way that this boss misinterpreted it. So wouldn't you want to know for your next job? Again, after he tells you, by all means, if you want to tell him, I quit, fuck you, you're an asshole, blah, 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 whatever. I'm not saying don't burn the bridge. I'm saying that come at him in a way that's not going to get him to be defensive, so that you can extract as much data as humanly possible. Don't come and say, hey, that guy gets more, I'm being abused, why is that? No, just come at him the way that I said, which is, I want to know how to provide more value to this business. I appreciate this job. I'm not complaining. I know other people that do this type of work here are able to get paid more, and I want to know where I'm falling short so that I can do better. And then he'll tell you. And then afterwards, if you think it's a pile of shit, then you can tell him, go fuck yourself, I'm out of here. But I would just suggest doing that for your own personal knowledge. And that's something that I learned into my late 20s, early 30s, is I would often burn the bridge before I got what I needed from the bridge. There were always these small conversations I could have had before I went like full TNT, Looney Tunes mode, and just blew up the bridge. I'll be nice. I'll be polite and courteous and kind and considerate to get the info that I need. And then if I want to burn the bridge afterwards, I'll burn the bridge afterwards. But get what you can out of it. What does the business net in a year? Not your fucking business. Let's see. How about Carson City, Nevada? I've never been. That's my advice. Hopefully that advice is worth $5. Where can I repair a Dell Precision in Saskatchewan, Canada? That sounds like an excellent question for a Canadian, which I am not. I am definitely not a Canadian. I don't know if I brought a bunch of good stuff to the world, Strum Engineer. I think most of it's already there. Lewis can be like, I can earn more by talking turd to a camera than repairing Apple boards. Let's see. Ask for a growth plan. If they laugh in your face, it's time to go. It's going to happen with your current store. It'll become sustainable. I want to rotate the pillowcase to have the seam on the edge because you have OCD and you're focusing on the thing you're not supposed to focus on. Could always end that conversation with the notice. I agree. I think I'm behind now. I am not in a hospital. Not everyone is a good boss as you are. I'm not a good boss. No, I'm not. If I were a good boss, then I'd be able to make the business profitable enough that I could pay everybody a lot more than I currently pay them. I'd also have probably 20 stores by now. No boss would hire a whole new person and pay them double if their current employees are capable of doing the work. They'd rather give you a raise. Talk to your boss. 100% agreed. Who wants to deal with the unknown when they can get everything they need out of? Nobody wants to deal with an unknown entity and train them from scratch when they have someone already that understands the company, that they trust, that they know is not going to steal stuff. Like, nobody wants to start from scratch. Nobody wants to start from scratch. Like, I had that conversation with the guy. I said, business was doing this and then this. The person who gets paid more than you started here when we were doing this, and now we're doing this. Is that fair? No. Life is not fair. I wish it weren't fair. But I want you to understand this because I don't want you to think that your pay is because I don't appreciate you or because I think you do a shit job or because you're a bad person. And it's important for me to tell you this because I want you to understand, I want you to acknowledge that the work that you do is worth more than you get here, and I appreciate that. And I don't know, he seemed to appreciate the honesty of that conversation. I'm not bringing out the Staten Island Guido accent for this stream. I'm not doing it because then I'm going to start doing it again. Multiple people have quit. It's just going to be him and the new guy now, and all he has to say to everyone is, okay, I hope you can work with us again. Maybe that's the case. But I still want to know why. Not financial advice, disclaimer, says Nicole. Nicole is preparing to sue me. I can tell. And she's going to move from Palm Beach to Palm Beach Island. Hire me, you can pay me in flooring. Fuck you, I still have extra flooring from you. My girlfriend once had a boss that told her to work slower because it made her colleagues feel inadequate. Her boss probably was dealing with union employees where you can't fire people. My stepmom has to deal with that, and it drives her nuts. I love the fact that it's just underperforming, being an asshole, underperforming. I don't have to deal with that. If the person who's a problem is not the person that's working well, it's the people that are not. The problem with any of these businesses is that a business is only as good as its shittiest employee, because everybody eventually sinks to the level of the shittiest employee. If the shittiest employee doesn't have to clean the board after they fix it, why does everybody else? They're suckers. Why am I ultrasonicking my board and making it look good and getting rid of all the corrosion on it when that guy just replaces the one chip that's bad and leaves all the shit on the board and gets paid the same I do? Fuck that. I'm going to do it too. Every business eventually to the reverts to the level of quality of the shittiest employee, which is why when someone starts doing that, it's, flick, flick, flick. It spreads like a cancer. This is the first job I've quit on my own. I'm just ecstatic about it. Here's some money, by the way. I'm 28. Okay, you just lost your job. Stop giving me money. That's financial advice. If you just lost your job, I will answer your question in chat without you giving me money. She's finally down to 71 gyms. Don't. Some things make me smile. Some things make me smile. I hired 3 people to replace Anel. Yeah, I fired Anel last year because he was being a prick. And I went through 3 people to replace him. Anel was such a prick that I think I spent $16,000 on 3 people that couldn't fix boards for shit, going through them all. I was going to go through another 4 or 6 people. I remember that. Pepperidge Farm remembers. But Anel eventually earned it back. Here's 5 for the hours of content I've consumed. Ever hear of the driver assist company, Comma.ai? I have, but I haven't looked into it. Can I get a genuine forget about it? No, forget about it. No, I can't, because it took me a good 3 or 4 years to get rid of the Guido accent. And if I start talking with it again, it took me about 3 years to get rid of the Guido accent. And if I start talking with it, no, I'm not doing it. No, we're not going there. Because like if I start doing it, I won't be able to get out of it. It was a very difficult habit to get out of, and I'm not going back. No, never. Not a union, 200 employee, family owned engineering business. She works as a draftswoman. Is it one of those family owned businesses where they hire their brother and their cousin and all that shit, or is it a family owned business that hires people that are competent? You missed my super chat. Is there any way that you could paste it so that I can find it? Because I don't think YouTube mobile has a way to list them, like on a desktop. If you paste it, I promise I will read it. I will read it immediately. Just don't make me go scrolling. Don't make me go scrolling, man. Nepotism is the worst, I agree. Let's see. Will he paste it? Please paste it. I'm sorry I missed it. Okay. Is there a button that lets you? Here we go. There is a button that lets you see it. Wait, seriously? It only shows you one? Are you fucking kidding? This YouTube app sucks. Okay, let's see. Okay, I scroll for it. I'm going to dig it out. It was Riley's 888. Does anybody see Riley's 888 super chat that I missed? My last day is on the 15th and my new job starts the 20th. Hella happy for the mini vacation. Why do you assume I'm dumb? I don't assume you're dumb. I just assume that you're, I don't know. Okay, fine. You got me there. Okay, Riley, when you click on this and you click super chat, It literally only shows you the last one. It doesn't show you the rest of them. So I have no way of scrolling to yours unless you would be kind enough to copy and paste it here so I could read it. I wasn't intentional, I promise. Here you should make an OnlyFans like Linus that to fund the 501c4, i.e. OnlyFanspin. But what would be Fanspin? Wait, that sounds very close to Meatspin. I don't want to do a meat spin. No meat spin. Anybody ever see the meat spin website? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? This is from it was a troll website from the mid 2000s. Our business uses nepotism, but only because nobody applies to work for us when we put out ads for help wanted. Well, here's the problem. Somebody said that's because you don't pay enough. That's not the case. There's a book, Dale Doughton has a book on this. I think it's called The Gifted Boss or something like that. When you put up a help wanted ad, you're getting the people that weren't able to get a job through a referral, who weren't able to find the job on their own, who weren't the people who were doing something that then someone else saw and thought, this is amazing, let me grab you. Well, by the time you're at the point where you're putting a job ad out, you're already fucked. I'll just be honest with you, you're already fucked. Like, I found people that said, hey, I found your YouTube videos interesting. And then they wind up coming to the store and we talk and then I hire them. That's worked. Like David, he showed up to a meetup group. He was showing me all the work that he was doing, and I thought, crap, I got to hire this guy. And I hired him. There was, what else was there? There was the guy that just passed from COVID, Milan. I stole him from Laptop MD. I saw the work he was doing when I sold screens. I stole him. Every time I put out a job ad and I hire somebody, it never goes well. And what Dale Doughton mentions in that book, The Gifted Boss, really makes sense. You're drawing from the people that everybody else didn't want for some reason. And why didn't they want them? Like, it's fucked up. It really is. But like, it's a fucked up thing to say. It's kind of like if I were to go on Bumble and I were to swipe, the only people that match with me are people that I wouldn't want. But they're on Bumble because nobody else wanted them in the real world to begin with. And I was on Bumble because nobody wanted me in the real world to begin with. It's kind of like that with jobs. You don't want to put up a job ad. I'd rather just go to a place where the people are doing the job I like, that I need somebody for. Find the person that's the smartest one there. Ask if they'd like a 30% pay raise, and bam, that works. And you save a lot on the on training that way, and them screwing things up along the way. Indeed is like the Tinder of employment. Word of mouth poaching. Yeah, JP gets it. Read that book by Dale Doughton, Gifted Boss. It's a good book. And I don't know if I think it's a good book. Maybe I only think it's a good book because it reinforces my poaching strategy. Somebody who's way more successful than I am is giving me the confirmation bias that what I'm doing makes sense. I hope you're doing well, father from another grandmother. I'm not your father, but thank you. I am doing well. It's about time to get going to sleep. I like scraping the bottom of the barrel on Tinder, says an L. Are you enjoying life? Yep, I'm alive. I'm not sick. I'm healthy. I have savings. I don't work for somebody else. I mean, life's good. Life can be stressful, pain in the ass. I give myself a lot of stress, and when I don't have stress, I find a new goal, and then I try to achieve that, which causes more stress because I'm afraid of screwing up. But at the end of the day, life's good. I enjoy my life. BlackBerry's calling me a liar. Piano player, yes. Mobile sucks. When people say that nobody's going to use computers anymore, it's all going to be mobile. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. Mobile apps suck. Most mobile apps that I use suck because you lose so much functionality. Let's see. Not everyone has a network. Hiring people through referrals basically screws over noobs, people that don't know how to network. Oh, well. I wouldn't even really call it networking so much as just doing something. It encourages you to do something. Just get out there and do something and be. Thank you, Chuckster. Whoa. Kitty. Kitty. All right. I'm out of here. See you all later. Have a good night. I had no idea, Ahmed. I had no idea. All right. I'll see you all later.